Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, a murder case at Edna after a teenager was found dead. What we know this evening.
In a series of coming interviews with 25 News Now, Josephine Solis tells us why she is running for mayor of Victoria.
And a series of shootings in Austin and San Antonio now linked to one gunman. Authorities searching for that motive.
Our weather was very cooperative today. Lots of sunshine, a few high clouds coming in, but you got 2 more days of nice weather before the chilly winds start to blow. We'll have your forecast.
Plus, was able to make my way out to El Maton and talk to some Tigers. Hear from head coach David Lucio in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia. Just before 7 p.m. Tuesday, Edna police were called to the Cottonwood Apartments where they found a dead teenager. The DPS and Texas Rangers are investigating the death as a capital murder case. Family members of the victim say she was Elizabeth Medina. The Cottonwood Apartments are in the 1400 block of North Wells Street near State Highway 111 and Highway 59. If you have any information, call the Edna Police Department. Family members do plan a vigil Saturday night at the Edna Cowboys Stadium in Edna at 6 p.m. Elizabeth Medina was a cheerleader at Edna High.
A Victoria man died last night in a motorcycle crash. It happened around 6 p.m. on Port Lavaca Drive. Police say the driver of a truck was going northbound on the 100 block of North Brownson Street when he failed to yield the right-of-way. He crashed into a 19-year-old on a motorcycle. Bo Meyer was running eastbound on the 16,000 block of Port Lavaca Drive. He was taken to the hospital where he died. The driver of the truck was not hurt.
City Council District 2 member Josephine Solis is running for mayor of Victoria.
Solis is the president of the Golden E Corporation and is from Victoria. She is a member of the Victoria Metropolitan Planning Committee, the Victoria Economic Development Corporation Board also. She was first elected to the City Council in 2012 and says that her extensive work with the City of Victoria has given her insight into how to help Victoria grow and help our citizens, like making public transportation more accessible.
We have a growth spurt downtown right now, and I would like that to spread out further out. I know we need to do some work in Southside. We need like a washateria store, anything down there that can help those people. Maybe even get some more transportation down there. And right now I'm a member of the Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission, and those are the people that do the transportation. So looking at, there's a study going on right now, and we can see where we need to have more stops, and that way we can get more people to work, to the store, to the grocery store, and the washaterias, things like that.
The election is set for February 3rd of this coming year. So here's a look at some of the candidates running for mayor of Victoria: Dwayne Crocker, Carissa Winters, Peter Brown, and Robert Constantine, and Jacob Salceda. You can learn more about these candidates at CrossroadsToday.com. Now, the deadline to register to vote in the February 3rd mayoral special election is Thursday, January 4th of 2024. Here is your voter poll tonight. You can scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, are you registered to vote in the February 3rd mayoral special election, yes or no? According to our results, it looks like 97% stand at yes and 3% stand at no. Thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And of course, we're going to have an update tonight at 10.
The interim chief of the Victoria Fire Department has filed to run for Victoria County Commissioner in Precinct 3. Shannon Martin started with the Victoria Fire Department in 1987. Martin retires at the end of January. He says he's lived in Precinct 3 his entire life and wants to help residents solve any issues in that area. Incumbent Gary Burns is not seeking re-election. The primary election is March 5th.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis.
Thank you very much. We had another sunny day. High pressure in the central part of the country is giving us the sunshine and the gentle north winds. It's also keeping us away from any stormy weather. However, that's not going to last forever because that frontal system on the west coast, well, it should be moving through here on Saturday. It will give us a bit of a chill. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Well, there is a situation that is going on tonight, not just in Austin, but also in Barrett County. And now the Barrett County Sheriff and the Austin Sheriff are talking about a shooting spree that happened reportedly by one man, and now they are looking to charge him with murder, 6 counts of murder, both in Austin and Barrett County. Here's more.
A stunning shooting spree across central Texas left 6 people dead, 3 more wounded, and 1 man now in custody.
We strongly believe one suspect is responsible for all of the incidents.
It started with the discovery of 2 bodies in a home near San Antonio early Tuesday.
I believe the bodies were relocated to where they are now.
Authorities say the suspect then drove 80 miles northeast to Austin, where a police officer for the Austin Independent School District was shot and wounded. Just over an hour later, a man and a woman were found fatally shot about 12 miles away. Then, a male cyclist was shot and injured shortly before 5 p.m. local time. And at another location about 2 hours after that, a 911 call regarding a burglary in progress.
The initial responding officer encountered a male suspect in the backyard of the residence. The male suspect immediately opened fire at the officer.
Police say the officer was hit several times as the suspect fled in a vehicle.
After his pursuit with officers, the male suspect crashed the vehicle he was operating and was taken into custody.
The officer's wounds were not life-threatening, says law enforcement officials, but another 2 victims were found dead inside the house connected to the burglary call. So far, it's not known why the alleged gunman, named by police Wednesday afternoon as 34-year-old Shane James, targeted his victims.
The nature of the relationship, if any, between the victims and the suspect is unknown.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
It was not immediately clear if suspect Shane James had an attorney, and now the Austin police say the suspect faces capital murder charges along with having had an outstanding family violence warrant for assault with injury.
And the other officer involved in the shooting at the burglary call captured the event on his body cam, and that video is expected to be released within 10 business days. Less than 2 weeks before the shooting Sunday in Dallas that killed a family of 4, including a 1-year-old boy, the suspected gunman was fitted with an ankle monitor and released on bond. The Dallas Morning News reports 21-year-old Brian Carrillo then fled Dallas and was pursued in Austin, where he fatally shot himself about 4 hours after the shooting. Public records show he lived in the home next door to where the shooting occurred and had a history of violence. Court records also showed he had been in a relationship with Vanessa de la Cruz before killing her, her son, and her parents. Only a 15-year-old girl survived.
U.S. Congressman District 27 Michael Cloud introduced a bill Wednesday on the House floor. This bill would block the Department of Justice from using the Rivers and Harbors Act to bring a lawsuit against states for enforcing border security. The bill is in response to the DOJ recently filing a lawsuit against the state of Texas after Governor Greg Abbott refused to remove a set of floating buoys along the Rio Grande near Eagle Pass designed to prevent migrants from crossing that river.
Houston ISD Superintendent Mike Miles said he was not surprised that the number of D and F schools in the district is much higher than in the past. KPRC reports the Texas Education Agency ratings come from the last school year. Miles said they are 52 F-rated Houston ISD campuses, 59 schools with D ratings and 64 with C ratings. Miles believes there is a need for a whole-scale systematic reform within the entire district.
More progress in the building of the Salvation Army of Victoria's Life Enrichment Center. The Life Enrichment Center will open the first week of January. Construction started September 1st at the Salvation Army's home office, 1302 North Lewis Street. The center is about 2,000 square feet and will feature a classroom with available computers. There will also be a library and a study area and a medical room where people will receive care, assessments, and referrals. A computer station and a laundry facility will also be in the center.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The Calhoun County Commissioners Court named EMS Director Dustin Jenkins to be the general contractor for construction of a new first responder training facility. Plus, the Harbor Children's Alliance and Victim Center collected presents and donations for a Christmas party toy giveaway for children. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Stay with us. An assault weapons ban hits the Senate floor. Coming up on 25 News now at 6, how one Republican from Wyoming was able to stop its passage.
Also ahead, the GOP candidates getting ready for a major debate in Alabama, what they have to say about Donald Trump's absence. A former NFL player has pleaded not guilty to murdering his mother. Sergio Brown is charged with killing Myrtle Brown near Chicago in September. Prosecutors also allege he concealed the 73-year-old's body. The Cook County Medical Examiner's office said she died due to an assault. Brown is in custody after going missing for weeks following his mother's death.
Senate Republicans have blocked an assault weapons ban bill on the Senate floor. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer attempted to pass the legislation with unanimous consent, meaning it would not need a formal vote. But Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming stopped that from happening.
Americans have a constitutional right to own a firearm. Every day, people across Wyoming responsibly use their Second Amendment rights to keep and to bear arms.
The bill would have banned the sale and production of more than 200 types of military-style assault weapons. Schumer's move for unanimous consent was not expected to pass. Tonight in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, will be the fourth GOP presidential debate where the candidates prepare to face off once again.
Yeah, we're just 6 weeks away from the Iowa caucuses, and each candidate is hoping to find a moment to stand out from the rest.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie have all qualified for tonight's event. It's the smallest group yet, giving the candidates more time to make their case to voters.
More time for these candidates to get more in depth, to either talk about their own issue agenda or to more directly attack former President Trump or even President Biden.
Josh Bramlett teaches political public relations at the University of Alabama, where the debate is being held. He says strategically it makes sense for the party's frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, to skip out.
Candidates have more to gain in a debate when it is a very close race, when they have to establish their name recognition.
But those candidates hitting the stage tonight say they'd like a chance to challenge Trump, who faces an array of legal troubles, head on.
I'm waiting for him to get on a debate stage. He can't keep hiding the way he's hiding.
Why Donald Trump refuses to debate. It is just beyond me. I mean, you know, if you're doing so well, you should want to go up there and make your case.
All eyes will be on DeSantis and Haley as they compete to become Trump's chief primary rival ahead of the Iowa caucuses. In Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I'm Julia Binbrook.
Cassidy and Haley Hayes of Calhoun County were named the winners of the Texas Farm Bureau's Outstanding Young Farmer and Rancher Award at the organization's meeting in Frisco. The couple grows corn, cotton, and soybeans in Calhoun and Victoria counties. The Hayes also sell about 850 show pigs each year to youth exhibitors from California to Georgia. The Hayes will receive a $60,000 award.
A Minnesota man delivered a special surprise to the children at St. Mary's Hospital just in time for Christmas. Mark Harverland delivered 458 teddy bears to children at St. Mary's Hospital Tuesday. He bear crawled just over 6 miles this past October in Texas and was able to raise about $3,000 to purchase the teddy bears. He is also a fitness coach and says he wanted to make a difference.
Not everybody has that opportunity to provide help. And if I'm able to provide that help, I will.
It's more. The next bear crawl is scheduled for his birthday on July 23rd.
Here's a look at some of the top headlines you'll find in the Cuero Record. DPS Trooper Ruben Garcia of Yorktown received a service award from Governor Abbott. The South Texas Regional Job Fair will be on January 11th at the Cuero Municipal Clubhouse, and Hunt Elementary students collect over 500 cans of food for the Kamal House. Read these stories and more at CueroRecord.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. We had a pretty good looking day, lots of sunshine, and we got up into the 70s. Actually, we didn't, but we'll show you in a minute. We're at 56 degrees right now, and we got up, well, yes, we did. We made it to 70 officially because I kept seeing the 69, but that is our average temperature for this time of year, and we were right on the money. Thing is, tomorrow and Friday, we'll warm up into the mid 70s before the big chilly wind rolls in. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We did have a few little high clouds rolling through, but mostly it was a beautiful day. I'm sure you got out there and enjoyed it. We are being protected by this ridge of high pressure. When I say protected, is because we have storms on east and west of the country, but none of them right now moving toward us. But the ridge is going to be moving, and that is going to allow that big, well, I'm not sure if the ridge is moving or the front is moving it, because that is a fairly big storm coming at us from the west coast. I talk about the west coast only because that's where the weather comes from. In North America, we have what we call the prevailing westerlies, and they roll across the hemisphere. And I watch out there because that's where the next storm's coming in. And this is the next storm rolling in through the Rockies and into the plains. The thing is, for California and the West, Oregon and Washington, they are under fire. Remember last year, I don't know if you remember, they had like 5 virtual hurricanes hit them. They're back into that business again because this is the first one that brought the extremely high winds, 8 inches of rain already in Seattle in the mountains. So they're getting all kinds of flooding. Then we've got another one behind it, then another one behind it, and then they're all lined up in the Pacific to slam onto the west coast. It's going to be very interesting and kind of a problem for them. Notice this is future tracker, so we're going forward into time, and you can see how it's a big snowstorm rolling through the northern Rockies. The snow is good. We need that. We need the rain too, but not all at one time. The problem is that after it rolls through the Rockies, it's going to break into the plains and be a big weather maker for the country. And there's, of course, number 2 already getting ready. So what we expect is, of course, the high pressure giving us the nice weather right now, but it's going to be moving by. And as a matter of fact, as we get to the weekend, it's going to roll into the southeastern states, allowing that big thing to start rolling through the northern plains. There you see how it will be a big snow maker for the northern plains. It might even bring snow to Amarillo, but that's where the moisture then gets to thin out, and so we don't expect a lot of rain coming with the front, but some will come. We'll talk about that in a second. Overnight lows down into the 40s, upper 40s, and then tomorrow we're looking for 73 again. So enjoy the sunshine and nice weather all the way through Friday. Saturday gets complicated when the front comes through. We'll be talking about that. You have a chance to go do a little fishing tomorrow because winds continue on the light side, but they have shifted from the northeast to the southeast. Bay waters are still smooth, and that's the good news. Now, for those of you in Port Lavaca, we get down to 56 in the morning, 71 in the afternoon. You'll see a few clouds, but mostly on the sunny side. 49 in the morning in Cuero, getting up to 72. Light winds and a few clouds. But here's what we expect in the long term. We'll be on the mild side for Thursday and Friday. Saturday we start warm, but the frontal system comes through somewhere between noon and 3 o'clock. And after it passes, you'll know, it's got a little line of rain coming with it, but then you'll feel that northwest wind kicking in, and the high on Sunday only 60, and then we may have some upper 30s around the area. This is early next week, Monday and Tuesday night, but then we'll have some cool days with highs barely in the 60s. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Karina.
Thank you, Mac. And now here is Zach Brown with your sports.
Well, we talked to some Tigers who are trying to get a ring. I'll have that coming up in sports. Kind of like Christmas Eve for 3 area football teams who are still competing for a state title, and all 3 of them are going to play tomorrow. The Ganado Indians are taking on the top-seeded Timpson Bears. Timpson likely to be the favorites to win this game, but Ganado, as we talked about yesterday, has been proving people wrong all year. Most recently with a wild win last week. Head coach Josh Irvin thinks it helps to go straight from a team like Refugio to a team like Timpson because both of those teams have many great athletes, and Jackson County just well represented. They've got 2 teams still going at it. How about the Edna Cowboys, who get a rematch with the Franklin Lions, who ended their season in the state semifinals last year. Edna looking to return the favor, but they know they've got to clean up all their mistakes that led to their demise last year. Should be a fun one. And last but certainly not least, the Tidehaven Tigers have finally made it to the semifinal round. It was a goal they had all year to get past Poth. They didn't look likely at one point in that game when they trailed 28-14 in the second half, but the Tigers used some big defensive stops, clutch offense to get the 34-28 win in overtime to get past the Pirates, who had been a thorn in their side. A hard-fought win that ranks highly on the list of games won by head coach David Lucio.
It's number one. As a coach, it's number one. I mean, the Rogers game, I told people after that game that was one of my favorites, probably my favorite. But this one blows everything out, you know what I mean? Just mainly because it meant the most, you know, to get to the state semis, and it was just a lot of fun. It was good against a great opponent. I have a lot of respect for Coach Luna, the Poth community, and their boys. They play hard and they're well coached, and so it wasn't like it was just some random team or whatever. It meant a lot to us to defeat such a great program.
They get the Dangerfield Tigers tomorrow at 7 p.m. at New Caney Randall Reed Stadium. And that's going to lead us to your viewer poll. Will the Tidehaven Tigers punch their ticket to state, yes or no? 83% of people say yes, and I got to agree with that. Last year they lost to Poth, who ended up making it to state. Now, Poth did lose, but Poth had been standing in their way for years. They finally got past them. And while it's a big week for another team, the Dallas Cowboys, it's a big week for head coach Mike McCarthy on a personal level, who underwent surgery for appendicitis. Now they are saying he's okay. In fact, he's expected to coach in this week's big game against the Eagles, a game that will be a great measuring stick for Dallas. Star Micah Parsons says the guy's just approaching it like another week.
Oh, I mean, it's always one of the biggest games in football, if not the biggest. The intensity is always high, the emotion's high, everyone wants to win. It's a brawl. It's always one where you got to get the ice bags ready.
A big game in Dallas. That's it for your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Zach, thank you. We're going to be back in a moment. What's said to be the world's largest menorah, now located in New York City.
It's claimed to be the world's largest menorah, and it has been erected In New York City, ahead of the start of Hanukkah, the giant menorah is situated in front of the Plaza Hotel. A lighting ceremony will be held each night of Hanukkah, beginning tomorrow and lasting through December 15th. The 36-foot menorah is considered a symbol of light, Jewish confidence, and pride, and has been certified by Guinness World Records as the world's largest menorah. There it is, and we wish all of our Jewish friends a very happy Hanukkah starting tomorrow night. Yes, indeed. And as we look ahead through the holidays, this weather does not seem to be too cool, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no.
Not complaining.
It's comfortable, it's nice, it's pleasant. I mean, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's kind of Goldilocks here, you know. So we've got 2 more days of very nice weather. Lots more sunshine tomorrow and Friday, staying in the mid-70s, so enjoy it. It's Saturday. The frontal system will be through somewhere between noon and 3 o'clock, and you'll know when the north wind starts to blow, and then it'll start getting chilly for Saturday night. By Sunday, the high temperature only 60, and we should see a couple of upper 30s around here. That does not violate my forecast because it's no freezing expected. So, and I'm going to have to get more specific because I said the crossroads, okay? No freezing in the crossroads before Christmas. Write it down. Write it down.
All right. Thank you, Mac. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you tonight at 10.